Hi everyone. I guess it's time to redo my testimony. New channel and brand new me. So yeah, I guess it's time to do my testimony once more. So this is my Jesus testimony. I have come out from the New Age. So back when I was young, I was born and raised in the Philippines. It's a Catholic nation, but I wouldn't say that I believed and had faith in the Lord because of a genuine belief, but it's because it was just there. I think this is what people call cradle Catholic or cradle whatever religion that's around in their environment, in their country. So that was me. So faith was always taught in school. It was always involved. People believe in God, even if they're not precisely following God to a T. People believed in God in the Philippines. So I grew up with my grandma and my granddad and my cousins, because in the Philippines it's normal for parents to go abroad, because back then it was classed as a third world country, but now these days the Philippines is classed as a developing country. So it's a lot better now. But back then, when I was growing up, it was classed as a third world country. So, I mean, even now, parents still go abroad to find work and send money back home. So that was what my mom and my auntie was doing. So my mom and my auntie were both single parent. So me and my cousins all grew up together because they left us with our grandma and granddad. Though my cousin had their dad to go to. My dad passed away when I was I think I was 7 or 8 years old when my dad passed away. It's not clear how he passed away. There was two different theories why he passed away, but we'll not get into that on this video. So yeah, I think growing up I was a little bit I think I was late. I think when you grow up with a single parent household, or not growing up with your parents at all, sometimes it can affect your development. So I was late with developing, like being aware of what's what. Not so much what's right or wrong, but just understanding your environment and understanding people and situations altogether. I think I was a bit late understanding those things. I was kind of just like going with the rhythm, and so I was a kid, child-minded for a while before I really hit puberty, maybe 14, when I started liking boys. That's when I started kind of like maybe growing up a little bit, but I still won't say not mature enough. Maybe just a teenage phase. So I was a quiet girl in school. One of those that just had small circles, maybe. One of those as well that maybe hung out with the what seemed to be popular kids, but I started off with the say normal kids at school, and then kind of like weed my way into the popular set of kids at school. But they weren't the popular ones, but I'd say the more like the more with the dominant and dominant character and a confident character. So even though I was the quiet one in the group, you know, I was accepted in the sort of little group when I was in high school, and I was still a quiet kid at the same time, you know. I was yeah. and then and then and then I had my first suicide attempt, which I didn't really, I think looking back now, it was a little bit for attention, and I don't really know. But looking back, it was Satan always trying to come after me, basically trying to destroy me. So I took a lot of overdose, and then this is how I ended up in this country, because my mom by this time settled down in the UK. She remarried, and she had 2 beautiful children, my sisters. So by the time I've done this, my mom kind of said, you know what, I'm gonna watch you and take care of you. So this is how I ended up in England. And when I came to England, it was just a massive culture shock. Culture shock completely. And then I found it really difficult to kind of like settle into high school over here. And it was just like really shocking, like how the kids answered back and just swore and just nothing that we do as school kids in the Philippines. And so it was just shocking. So so I can remember like the first few days that were here, and I didn't want to go to school, so I hid in the cupboard, in the wardrobe, and my auntie found me. This is my stepdad's sister. And then I can remember like screaming at my mum's face saying, "Send me back to the Philippines." And my mum's like, "No," because obviously she's not gonna do all that sending money again, and also it's just easier if I were here. And I didn't really understand the hardship that she went through as well at the time, because you don't when you're kids. When you're kids, you don't realize the hardship that your parents go through till you're an adult yourself, you know. So that was that. She didn't send me back, and I observed the wrong crowd when I was in high school here in the UK, and I kind of like wanted to blend in, so I started observing the crowd that was skiving school. So I skipped a few classes, and then when I came to the UK, like high school children seems to be just talking about sex all the time. So as a way to kind of like oh, maybe I'd fit in, I did some things that I wasn't proud of, you know, in high school. But what I did sexually was I would actually ended up being kind of like not hated, but kind of like frowned upon. It's like, oh, that's a bit gross, why would she do that? And then I left high school, and then I met my ex-partner. I got into a relationship with my ex-partner for about 5.5 to 6 years. I settled down, had children with him, you know. I had 2 beautiful children, which are now 13 and 14-year-old. So when I was with my ex-partner, our relationship was abusive, and the dynamic, it was just so toxic. It was just toxicity altogether. And then so just before we've split up, I kind of knew that we were about to split up. And when you go into fear that you just want to know what's going on, that's when I started kind of like going to tarot readings online, you know, because I was just curious, well, what's gonna happen to us, even though it's inevitable and we kind of know that we were gonna split up. I was still playing tarot cards online to kind of like find out if we were gonna split up or not. And prior to this as well, there were a woodland area near our house, and I ran up there because it was just like, it was chaos between the two of us. Like I said, it were a bit abusive. So I ran to the woods. I can remember like just sat down by the grass area crying, looking up to the sky, and I was just saying, help me, help me, help me. I always believed that there was something out there, or the afterlife and such things like that, but I didn't know it was Jesus at the time. But I can remember crying out saying, help me, help me, help me. So yeah, and yeah, before we split up, I was doing the whole tarot thing online, and then from searching online, it was just bombarded by one after the other, after the other, after the other. So another suggested video was this Eckhart Tolle. He's a spiritual guru, the power of now. And that's when I started being interested in sorting myself out, basically self-development, and just healing from all the things that me and my ex had been through. I wanted to heal, so I started like kind of studying the power of now by Eckhart Tolle, because basically it teaches you about the mind, to focus on the present moment and not so much the past or the future, because the mind is always projecting past and future events, but it's never focused on the now. So that's what the power of now, that book, was all about. So when we finally split up, I took the children the first time around, and then, like I said, I wanted to heal, so that's when I started coming across Reiki and wanted to do Reiki, studying Reiki and all these things. And then 5 months maybe into us splitting up, me living in an apartment, in a flat with my children. I've never been a single mom before, so if I found it tough. So we kind of got back together for a month. So I didn't give up my flat, but I moved back in for a month. And then same thing again, it was so abusive between us. Just felt like dying and all sorts. And this is where he was getting into my head. He was getting into my head that you know what, you took the children last time, they're staying with me this time. You know, that he started getting into my head saying that I'm only gonna mess the children up. They don't need, you're better off not being around them, you're gonna mess the children up. So this is my second suicide attempt. So I took a lot of overdose and ended up in hospital. The work didn't know I ended up in hospital. I was just off, as far as they were concerned, I was just off sick for 4 days, because that's how long I stayed in hospital for. The first day I was like, they wouldn't let me out, obviously, because what I've done. But then I immediately realized it was like, no, it's just stupid. I want to be with my children. So yeah, that's what they wrote on the report as well, you know, that I just realized it was just a stupid thing. It was kind of like all of a sudden the raw emotion of having to split up and all the toxicity. And so eventually they did, yeah, let me out. And that's when I stood up to my ex. This is, you know, all the threats that whatever, going to court and all this and other, that's just all he does. He did. It was just all threats that he was gonna take me to court and everything. And I thought, you know what, so be it. I am not losing my children. They're coming with me. Anyway, he didn't go ahead with it, and I ended up, you know, I've got my children, and then we moved back. We were at the flat again, And then we didn't stay at the flat for too long because it was very thin, wall and flooring, and you can hear everybody that lived in the flat, and it wasn't ideal for having children. So we moved out, found a house instead, and we're still in the house that we're renting in now. About 11 or maybe 12, maybe 11 years later anyway, we're still in this house that we're living in now. So so that's when we properly split up. That's really when the spiritual journey began, you know. I bought all the spiritual books, all the spiritual gurus, you know, Eckhart Tolle, Marianne Williamson. I was listening to Oprah, you know, Super Soul Sundays and things like that. I followed all the spiritual gurus online. Such the like of Teal Swan, and then you know, even channelers like Bashar, the law of attraction, the Abraham Hicks and Jerry Hicks, and the manifestations and all the things like that. And it was through my Reiki master that I got introduced to all these law of attractions, actually, because my Reiki master, I studied with her. Not only is she a Reiki master, she was also a college teacher. She had all sorts of holistic therapy courses, and she was also business minded. So she introduced me through all of this, and businesses as well. You know, she was signed up to a lot of MLM, multi marketing network online, and through MLM they just teach you a lot of manifestations and law of attraction, and you know, self-development, like Tony Robbins and things like that. Be your best self now and manifest the life that you want. But through this path, it's always going down with it's never enough. It's got to be more and more and more, and you just seems like you're after you've achieved something, it's got to be something else, and it's always like the Bible says, always learning but never coming to the knowledge of the truth. And though obviously the self-development classes and the holistic therapy healing helped, you know, I was sorted at this time a little bit, and I had like peace, but looking back now, it was just a false sense of peace. I wasn't really healed properly through the Reiki and everything like that, because it goes down to the occult. I studied Reiki. I was qualified Reiki master. I did angelic Reiki 1 and 2. I did energy healings, you know, just as quantum touch. I did crystal healing. I studied all those kinds of things because I wanted to pass Reiki on. Hence, I became a Reiki master and a teacher, and I wanted to open my own holistic therapy shop. That's why I did all that. It was very strange when I was doing my Reiki at the beginning, though I didn't question it at the time, because I was also just really fascinated with the spiritual world, and I was told to trust the process as well. If anybody's done Reiki here before, on your first degree Reiki under a Usui system, you do this 21-day Reiki energy healing session you're practicing to yourself. So you go through your chakras, and I think it's you spend 3 days on each, so it makes it 21 days or something like that. But when I was doing that, you know, I had like strange things happening, like my body being like dragged, like I would sit there, lay there relaxed, like doing this energy healing on myself, and then my arm or my legs will just be like drag like that or like that. And then I didn't question it. I rang my Reiki master about it, and she just says trust the process. But so I did, because I'm just like trying to tap into the spiritual world at this time, because I was fascinated, and maybe at one point I wanted to be a psychic medium or something like that as well, and you know, talk to the dead, and wanted to be a medicine woman, you know, a shaman, a shaman, and yeah, so I did all those things, and I did CrossFit as well, but towards the end of CrossFit, I really enjoyed CrossFit, by the way, but towards the end I was also practicing a few yoga classes. I didn't go to a lot of yoga classes, but I did do some. So my transition really happened when I started questioning things, because like I'm the type of person like that goes into detail. Like if I were gonna be a Reiki teacher, and if I'm gonna passing all this information to my students, and I were making my own manual, I went through details of things, and I were questioning many things. But one of the things that I came across questioning, I think, was one of the grandmasters of Reiki. I think he was the second one. I can't remember what his name is now. And his history is he killed himself with a sword. And I'm thinking, wait, why did he kill himself, you know? If this is supposed to be something that brings you so much relaxation and peace, why did he end up killing himself? And then I don't know, there was just so many things that were asking questions about, and but eventually I think I'll just get to this story. So how did I come across Jesus? How did I meet Jesus? So I got invited to a former friend's Hindu, and the only reason I'm saying former friend now is I mean, I loved her to pieces. You know, we were just starting to form a friendship. But as you know, when you come to faith in Jesus, because you're now all of a sudden deemed as a Jesus freak, or even if they don't call you Jesus freak, you're all about Jesus now. Sometimes friends just naturally fall away out of your radar. And yeah, she's one person that kind of naturally fell away from my radar, you know. Even after COVID, you know, she got in touch with her friends, but kind of like, maybe not me anymore, because, you know, she's with Jesus, I'm guessing, because, well, anyway, yeah, my former friend invited me to her Hindu, and by this time my body weight has changed, because like I said, I used to do CrossFit, so I couldn't fit to my wardrobe anymore, because my wardrobe was still the same. So I wanted a quick fix just to get to this Hindu and wear the outfit that I'm still wanting to wear. I did like a water fasting, so it was like, I only did 2.5 days, but to try and have some inspiration so I can get through all my water fasting, I was just searching on YouTube online how to get through a water fast for some inspiration. And one of the suggested videos was a pastor named Jebsen Franklin, and he was preaching about fasting and Jesus. And I wasn't particularly interested about the Jesus bit, just the water fasting bit, so I can get through mine for some inspiration. And by the time I turned the video off, I was going, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And then this wave of supernatural peace came upon me, and that was it. I have never ever felt peace like that my whole entire existence. And that's when I was just like, oh my goodness, Jesus is real. And then I started sobbing, because it was like I came face to face with my own sin. it's like that time it was just like I was convicted. I've been sinning against God all my life. And then that's when I knew I just wanted to get baptized and you know, give my life to the Lord and serve him. And that's when I got started off with the last Reformation, you know. I got baptized by that group. You know, there's no perfect church. Every church has got their own issues and what have you, but the last Reformation group, I must say, they make, whether people stay with them or not, they make genuine conversions, they make genuine disciples, they make people genuinely born again, because that's what we need to be, born again in water and in spirit, and that's what they do. So it's been a journey. This is my 6th year. This is my comeback, and I say my comeback because when I gave my life to the Lord, I had no doubt in my mind that he is the way, the truth, and the life, and I would follow him. It was genuinely from my heart and my mind and all my being wanted to follow him diligently. But as you know, when you give your life to the Lord, the enemy still comes after you. So the enemy came after me, and after one fall, after the other, and after the other, and after the other, and I just kind of went into a little bit of detour. And recently I've just kind of like, not only maturity in the Lord and changes within myself and being sanctified more, but coming to a place of surrender, just like when I first received him. I've let go of all the things that was trying to come after me from the enemy now, and just learning to serve the Lord in love again, like returning to my first love. So I would say this is my comeback because I've surrendered, and all I want to do is serve my Lord with all my heart, mind, and soul. And I'm gonna carry on. And recently I've just come back to put myself back on the last Reformation map as well, as a point of contact. And from here on forward, I'm gonna serve the Lord. So that's just my brief testimony, and I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that you continue on this journey with me. This channel is to testify and for God's glory. So God bless you guys. I'll see you again.